Chef Charlotte Litlapi is the heart and face behind the pastry princess. Her love for the kitchen started when she was baking in her grandparents' kitchen, baking the kuku le makwini. Today on Made in the Moment, we are chilling with Chef Charlotte Litlapi. Tell us about your business.
What would you like to know?
I would like to know where you started from. I want to know what makes you the passionate person you are about this chefing business, or is it the pastry business?
It makes me happy. I enjoy decorating cakes. I enjoy dancing. And while I sit and getting into the groove in the moment as the cake and the design uniquely comes to life, and the thought of seeing my clients' faces when they see what we've discussed come to life and it exceeds their expectations just really makes my heart smile.
So what do you do? So maybe tell us about your product. So do you just do cakes? Because the name says the pastry princess.
So I am a qualified pastry chef, so I do all sorts of pastry products. So choux pastry, puff pastry, cakes, panna cottas, cheesecake, anything that's pastry related I can create for you, but my speciality is luxury celebration cakes.
Oh, fantastic. And your target market, so who do you sell to? And the price point of your cake, because I buy cake from the shop for my child's birthday, and I'm like trying to think, if I had to buy your cake, what should I be expecting?
So I sell to anybody who wants a really good looking and a really beautiful tasting pastry product or cake. So I'm not committed to say I sell here or my client is here or my client is there. My ideal client is somebody who wants something that's beautiful, something that tastes magnificent, and something that reflects them and their sense of style and where they're at in their life.
Fantastic. Now tell me about business. Maybe we talk a bit about business. So you started the business when? And how did you start the business? And what were the challenges that you faced when starting up your business?
So I officially started my business in 2016, but I have been baking all my life. I've made my own birthday cakes. I started out making family members' birthday cakes. I think the first one I unofficially did was my grand's 80th birthday cake. It's not the prettiest looking thing. When I go back and I look at the pictures, I'm just like, yikes. But that's where the love and the passion started for it. And then getting more recipe books, experimenting with different types of sponges, different types of products, cooking with chocolate, or not cooking, but baking with chocolate, baking with fresh fruit. And it just kind of grew from there. So, I mean, the first proper two-tier cake I ever made was for my aunt's 70th birthday. And it was the first big family celebration we had after my grand passed on. And I wanted to kind of make it special for everybody because my aunt she was the oldest daughter, and she was the closest to my grand. And I wanted to give her something that was beautiful and special and memorable, especially considering that my grandfather is the one who introduced me to the world of baking.
I think that's a deep inspiration for you to continue the work of baking and pastry and the likes. Yeah. But what I want to understand for now is, what are the struggles that you've had to start up your business? What type of capital did you have to have? How did you get to make your first cake sale? And what is the highest price point you've actually sold your cake at?
So startup capital was none. In terms of for myself, it was mommy and daddy. And they've been very encouraging and very supportive of assisting to build my dream and to build myself and my confidence back up. Because before the business started accidentally, to be completely honest, because I was in corporate as a banker and I got retrenched and I wasn't really sure what to do. I was battling severe depression at the time. So I always tell people that the business in baking literally saved my life. So I think that's why my parents were happy and encouraged me to proceed and to carry on with it, and they were happy to help me fund it and plug the gap, so to speak, because it kept me alive. So I think now the biggest challenge is building something sustainable from it, because the business is seasonal. So during winter, not very many people are having events, and they're not having birthday parties. And when they are, it's small. So you've got to find a way to make sure that when you are busy, that money carries you through the quiet and the tough times. So striking that balance has been difficult. It's been a learning curve, and as each year goes, you learn more and you figure out more. And as each year goes, the business name gets out there, you get out there, your confidence grows, your skill set grows as well, because the more cakes I make and the more cakes one does, the better you become.
Yeah. So the one thing that you didn't come back to me was your price range.
My price point. So a lot of people, there's a big misconception in terms of custom-made cakes, because people are under the impression that the price that you're paying at a grocery store or at a big retailer is the price that you would pay from a baker at home. And also, some bakers at home charge differently, because some people are self-taught, which is where I started out. And then I wanted to skill myself up, be able to charge more, but to also give my clients peace of mind that I understand my product, I understand what I'm doing. I'm a professional, I have the food safety knowledge as well, and because food can make people sick if it's not done correctly. So that was the other reason why I went to chef school. So as a result, I am more expensive than other people, but that's also because I'm always challenging myself. So as I said, I go for cake decorating courses once a year with different people to skill myself up, to learn the new techniques, because the industry is huge, especially overseas. People are coming up with different techniques. You can translate like watercolor painting onto a cake. You can sculpt a cake into a car, into an elephant, into your favorite, your child's favorite cartoon character. But that's at a higher skill level, and that takes a lot of time. So obviously you do need to charge accordingly, because you do need to cover your overheads, be able to pay yourself, be able to make a profit, and also still be able to afford and pay for the quality ingredients that I always purchase and go for.
So currently your business is a one-man business?
Yes.
Or one-woman business? Yes. So what's your growth plan? What's your growth trajectory? And how do you plan to grow?
So I've always said that I want to grow organically.
Okay.
Because I have seen other businesses grow quicker and expand quicker than they should, and further down the line they have to shut down, declare bankruptcy, lay off people, etc., etc. And having been retrenched myself, that's not something I want to put people through. So I was very articulate with my parents and people that saying, I want my business to grow organically, because I know the space I want to play in and I know where I want to get to, but I'm not going to rush it. And I'm not going to be everything to everybody. So for instance, I've tried to carve cakes. It's too stressful, I don't enjoy it, that's not my niche, so I've stepped out of that. So I've tried the different elements of the industry to see what works for me, and to also confirm that where I want to be is the correct place.
Chef Charlotte, COVID-19.
That thing.
How has it affected you?
COVID-19's been traumatic, because when the hard lockdown was announced, nobody's having parties, nobody's having people over. So industry literally shut down for 6 weeks. And as restrictions were lifted, people were like, okay, it's my child's birthday, I can order a cake. So what I did prior to us going into hard lockdown, and to ensure that I had funds to pay my bills, was I created something called the Created with Charlotte box, where I supply ready-made cakes and cupcakes and biscuits and the icing and the decorations, and you and your child and your family, or you and your sister, or you sit and you decorate it. I gave you instructions. I was available on the phone, on FaceTime, on what, just to help you through. And it's something that's taken off. I've had people come back and say, my daughter, we did this for my son's birthday, now my daughter wants us to do it for her birthday, and we've zhuzhed it up a little bit more. So I've taken the Created with Charlotte box as a step further, where you can now purchase the box with the dry ingredients, where you actually now are baking the cupcakes yourself. You're making the cupcakes yourself. I give you all the tools that you need, all the decorations, and we've taken it a step further and themed it. So there's unicorns, there's mermaids, there's cars, there's sport, there's flowers, there's butterflies, just for something fun also to do with the school holidays, especially with December approaching, because we don't know what the world is going to look like. It's forced me to become a lot more resourceful and to actually take a step back and think, do I really want to do this? Is this the industry I really want to be in? Because COVID-19 showed everybody flames, and it showed that, you know, one day life is like this and then it's like that.
Yeah.
How are you going to adjust? Are you going to choose to adjust, or are you going to choose to get stuck and be like, no, this is where I want to be, this is what I want to do, I don't want to change. So it forced a lot of people to adapt and adapt quickly.
So Charlotte, we've compiled some quick fire questions. We want to see how many you can answer in a very short period of time. So
Let's go.
if you could talk in your sleep, what would you say?
Go away.
Sorry. What is the first thing you do when you get up in the morning?
I thank God for a new day.
What is your favorite movie quote?
I don't know.
What is your favorite movie quote?
The only thing that comes to mind is Carpe Diem, because that's what everybody says, but I can't say it's my favorite.
What is your favorite joke?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Go away.
On that, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, and thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.